Hindi cinema's original He-Man actor Dharmendra passes away at 89 in Mumbai, leaving behind a legacy and iconic roles and timeless charm. HL issues statement says Tejas crash was an isolated occurrence caused by exceptional circumstances with no impact on future deliveries. Company extends full cooperation to the agencies conducting probe. CM Siddaramaiah admits leadership change issue reached High Command, says everyone has to agree to what High Command decides. If High Command says I must continue, I will continue. Gunmen attack paramilitary force headquarters in Pakistan's Peshawar. Gunmen were aided by 2 suicide bombers, 3 people killed. United States and Ukraine come up with mutually acceptable peace plan after agreeing to modify a US proposal that Kyiv and EU saw as Kremlin wish list. The nationwide exercise for special, intensive revision of electoral rolls across 12 states by Election Commission of India has turned into a political football. Jharkhand Health Minister Irfan Ansari of the Congress Party has sparked a political controversy after signalling that he intends to obstruct the SIR and accusing BLOs of hindering administrative work. He urged people to hinder BLO work and lock them inside the house.
आपका वोट काट रहा है, आपका वोटर लिस्ट से नाम काट रहा है, आपका आधार कार्ड से नाम काट रहा है। जब आप सोचिए, अगर आपका आधार कार्ड से नाम काट देगा तो आपका बैंक अकाउंट भी स्वतः बंद हो जाएगा, आपका पैसा भी लूट लेगा। बिहार में 65 लाख, सोचिए आप, हमारा वोट को काट दिया। 65 लाख का मतलब होता है 80 विधानसभा छीन लिया है। आप वोट देने का अधिकार ही नहीं रखा, आपकी नागरिकता छीन लिया, आपको पहचान छीन लिया, आपको घुसपैठिया बना दिया इन लोगों ने। कोई हक समाज में आपको कोई हक नहीं मिलेगा। और अब बंगाल में SIR लागू कर रहा है और उसके बाद झारखंड में करेगा। मैं आप सबको कहना चाहता हूं, एकदम अगर कोई नाम आपका काटने के लिए आए, अगर कोई आपका नाम अगर पूछने के लिए आए, वैसे प्राधिकारी को एकदम गेट पे बंद कर दिएगा, ताला मार दीजिएगा, मैं कहूंगा।
झारखंड के एक मंत्री इरफान अंसारी यह पब्लिकली बोलते हैं कि यदि कोई बूथ लेवल ऑफिसर अर्थात चुनाव आयोग के द्वारा नियुक्त कोई बूथ लेवल अधिकारी यदि केवल तुमसे जानकारी लेने के लिए आए तो उसे बंधक बना लो। मैं पूरी विनम्रता से और दृढ़ता से और कष्ट के साथ पूछना चाहता हूं इंडी गठबंधन वालों से, यह लोकतंत्र को बंधक बनाने का निंदनीय प्रयास है या नहीं? खुलेआम आपके नेता इस ढंग का आह्वान करेंगे जैसा इरफान अंसारी ने किया कि कोई केवल पूछताछ के लिए आए तो उसको बंधक बना लो? संविधान खतरे में है या नहीं? एक बार पुनः देश को ध्यान आता है कि जहां जहां इंडी गठबंधन के लोग सत्ता में आते हैं, संविधान की भावना दरकिनार कर दी जाती है। किसके लिए? कुछ संदिग्ध स्रोतों से वोट प्राप्त करके सत्ता पर कब्जा करने के लिए।
The Noida administration has booked over 60 booth-level officers and 7 supervisors for negligence and disobedience during the Election Commission's ongoing special intensive revision of the electoral rolls. The Trinamool Congress convened a virtual organizational meeting to discuss the party's strategies regarding the SIR exercise. The meeting was chaired by TMC's National General Secretary Abhishek Banerjee. Around 10,000 members, including MPs and legislators, heads of municipal bodies, district presidents and chairmen of the party, and workers attended the virtual meeting. Meanwhile, the Tamil Nadu government has launched an unusual awareness drive to nudge households to submit the mandatory forms before the December 4 deadline. It has printed reminders on Aavin milk products in Salem district. Each packet now carries a prompt. Have you returned the FIR SIR 2026 form given to you at the voter booth camp in your area? In a social media post on X, Rahul Gandhi, the leader of opposition Lok Sabha, has termed SIR as chaos unleashed by the EC across the country. He says under the guise of the SIR, chaos has been unleashed across the country. The result? In 3 weeks, 16 BLOs have lost their lives, heart attacks, stress, suicides. SIR is no reform, it is an imposed tyranny, alleged Gandhi. He went on to say that SIR is a calculated ploy where citizens are being harassed and the deaths of the BLOs from unnecessary pressure are dismissed as collateral damage. This is not a failure, it's a conspiracy, a sacrifice of democracy to protect those in power. The Election Commission has been supporting that rationale, saying that up-to-date rolls are vital for ensuring that only qualified citizens remain listed. The enumeration phase places full responsibility on BLOs to match elector details with old rolls and complete Form 6 and Form 8 tasks in a time-bound manner. The administration warned that the continued non-compliance could lead to salary withholding and disciplinary action. So the objective of the SIR is no Indian eligible to vote to be left out. Every eligible citizen must be included, deceased, duplicate or ineligible names removed. So this raises some pertinent questions. And before that, let me introduce my guest. I am joined by Brijesh Pandey, input editor News9, Dr. Shatrupa, spokesperson BJP, Rohan Mitra, spokesperson Congress Party, and Bhanu Chandan Nagarajan, political analyst. Let me go to Dr. Shatrupa. Two things here. One is the bite of the Jharkhand Chief Minister and the second is the issue of BLOs. So are BLOs overworked, madam?
No, Karthik, and I really don't think so. If you look at it, I discussed it with you last evening also, that there are 1,500 people in a booth. Now, it's not that each BLO has to go to 1,500 houses. Many people live together, many people live, together in a chawal or a high-rise building. All together, it forms one booth, which is about 1,500 people. And almost now, I think within the 25th of November, which is tomorrow, forms have already been filled and sent back. There is huge hue and cry about some digitization which needs to be done. Even in the digitization, as a BLA, I can tell you, I've been working with many of the BLOs. There is a QR code at the beginning of the form. I don't know if in your state the SIR has happened or not. Above your picture on the right hand corner, there is a QR code which is unique to each and every citizen. So the moment that is scanned, the details which were already there in 2002 comes. Now, if I want to make a change, for example, if there is a surname change in case of women, or if there is a spelling mistake, or if you want to shift your residence, only that much has to be typed in, that this is the change given. Now, I really don't see what is the overworking, this story that all the Trinamool and Congress keep cooking up. I understand there have been some deaths. My condolences, deepest sympathies to the families.
Okay.
But suicide, if you're awaiting suicide, then there is a term called temporary insanity. One really doesn't know what kind of stress has prompted somebody to commit suicide. Why are we blaming a constitutional procedure which has to be done? I am sure you wouldn't want outsiders to come and stay at your house and eat your food and use up your electricity. Okay. Nobody wants that. Nobody in the right mind wants that. So why this hue and cry by Congress, CPM, Trinamool, and whoever wants to just create a ruckus here?
Okay.
There's no need to do this.
Mr. Mitra, your opening comments?
First of all, it's a tragedy that people are losing their lives on a constitutional process. And, Karthikeyaji, just coming back to Shatrupaji's points, this online process, it does not work. I'm telling you, because we've just filed a complaint to the Election Commission. So see, there are three things which happen in this online process. You get an OTP. By the time you get the OTP, the site falls. Then, then there's the online and the offline records. They don't match. People who are there on the 2002 list, they are not there on the online list. And the third point, right? So you have to upload a picture, your recent picture on your online form. Same thing. By the time you upload the form, system crashes and the system, this whole thing goes away. So these are the three basic things. So when she's saying that the digital process works, it doesn't work. The BLOs are very overworked because the BLOs, who are they? They are the teachers. They are supposed to be working throughout the day. Then they take off time and then they go and reach out to the people. So first of all, the whole process, we are not against SIR. Let's put it, I'm going to put it out there. We are not against SIR because the SIR has happened before it should happen. But let me put it to you in a better understanding. In 2002, Bengal had over 4 crores voters and we had this SIR process. That time it was not special. It was the intensive review. It took over 2 years to do it. It was a 2-year process. Now, ma'am, let me finish. You can come back later. But now you are giving them 1 month to do the process. You're giving them the apps which are not working. The BLOs themselves have said their apps don't work. And you see this whole process as you make it into just before the election. So why didn't you do it with Bihar? This is what the Congress is saying, that when the Bihar process started, you knew Bengal was going to vote in 2026. Why didn't you start it then? Or why didn't you start it right after 2024 Lok Sabha elections? What is the need that you're doing it right now? And just to defend what Mr. Ansari said, because let me tell you, you are picking up on Mr. Ansari's comments. The BJP leaders in Bengal, they have gone and said that you're going to remove 2 crore voters from the voter list. So where are they getting these numbers from?
Since you mentioned Ansari, your opening comments on what he said in Jharkhand.
Well, I think, those kind of statements should completely be avoided. He's not a normal person on the road. He's a minister. He has a constitutional obligation to make sure that these kind of statements are not said. And by saying that you put somebody who comes to inquire about it, you lock him up and I'll see what can be done and all. These kind of acts or statements doesn't behove, any elected representative, forget minister. Second thing is, yes, I agree with one point that there are BLOs, there have been several BLOs and newspapers have all been publishing detailed reports on that there's a lot of work pressure on them. And it's one thing to do a process in a timely manner, but there are many BLOs who have been complaining about it, that the time frame which has been given to them is not realistic. So I think there has to be a decent enough of time, because you would not want anybody to botch up. Because there have been complaints at several places where, when people would call on the helpline number, there are 4 helpline numbers, one would, a newspaper carried this investigation, they would just simply disconnect the phone. So you were not able to call. So I think, there should be a reasonable time limit, because we have to also understand that these BLOs are the one who are also doing the teaching job. And then after that, they are going out to, to fill the forms and all. So there has to be this. But yes, the statement of Mr. Ansari, that cannot be condoned in any which way.
Bhanu, your thoughts, just to add one thing, when you hold simultaneous polls, it's not as if, it's the first time that people who are involved in electoral processes have undergone pressure. The Indonesia example is in front of us, whereby a lot of people lost their lives. So it's internationally, it's not that this is the first in India. But my question remains the same. Why SIR exercise is being opposed so much? Because, the pattern of voting in Bihar showed that despite deletion of bogus voters, the voting went up.
Correct. So, Karthikeya, I was recently in Chennai and I was part of the revision that, I'm a voter, so the BLO officers came to my house, and the process is heavy, nobody's taking it away from them. And in fact, see, the DMK initially opposed the SIR wholesale. In fact, even asked why this SIR should be conducted in the first place. But then what happened was they started sending their representatives. In fact, you just mentioned that in Salem they started printing in the milk packets on whether you have received the form, so on and so forth. So I think that's a very positive way of doing it. When they came to my house, both the party representatives came with me. Came with the BLO and they checked their role. And in fact, they could not find a few houses. So the community members came and helped them, right? So if there are discrepancies, then there's a process that can be, there's a process to rectify it, and there is online method and so on. So it is an intensive revision. In fact, it's there in the name itself. So it is done in a very short span of time. And we have done it in Bihar, leave Indonesia, we have done it in Bihar. So see, initially the hawa was about not having an SIR at all. Now they are coming to the operational details, saying that the BLOs are overworked, so on and so forth. So this is done just for the signaling value. There is a perception that the SIR process is against the minorities, and there are certain parties that actually want to sort of hop on to that bandwagon and sort of create this sympathy.
Okay. The Chief Minister of West Bengal, Mamata Banerjee, has penned another letter to the Chief Election Commissioner, Gyanesh Kumar, voicing her concerns over the manner in which the SIR is being carried out in the state, even as the BLOs protested outside Bengal CEO's office over excessive pressure under SIR. So, Shatrupa, why do you think that Mamata has taken this position? Is it really about overwork, or do you think that she feels that the registration process can deprive her of her vote which they have built over a period of time?
Karthikeyan, I think you'll have to forgive me. It is beyond my human mind to even get an iota of what the Chief Minister of West Bengal thinks. Her thinking process defeats all sensible brains. So, but then today, I'll just give you a case in point. Today, Trinamool has formed some kind of a BLO foundation or something like that. And when the local media went around the people who were participating in that rally looking for BLOs, I think one or two could be found. And so that kind of shows you that the BLOs, I'm sure, I'm not denying the people who have committed suicide, under what pressure they have committed. Everybody has stress. You're stressed, I'm stressed, I'm sure the other three panelists are stressed. Now it depends on how you handle life. And I am really not getting into Gyan mode, but it depends. And when insanity strikes you, you really cannot. I at least don't know what went wrong with these 28 people who suddenly.
But then Bijesh, why stick to something which has not yielded any dividends in Bihar? Mamata Banerjee, Stalin, opposition rule states, for example, JMM, they are making an issue out of SIR, which did not yield any result in Bihar elections. But that surprises me.
But there are two things. What the opposition parties are, to be fair to them, are asking is not that they are against the SIR. They are not saying that SIR should not be done. Because, everyone knows that, there has to be a revision of the electoral rolls. There is no way you cannot have a revision of electoral rolls, but since, forever. There has to be electoral rolls. The biggest problem and the objection is the time frame. That if you want to do, say for example, a state like Uttar Pradesh or state like, West Bengal, if you want to do an SIR in 2 months or 3 months, then it's a problem. Because, the time frame pushes you, and as Bhanu's agreed that the process is a lengthy process. It's not like you have to just sign you just to pen your signature and stick your photographs and everything is done away, and you fill couple of lines and everything is all right. It's not as easy as it is being made out to be. And the fact of the matter is that either you do it at a time where there's less problem on the concerned individual. Everyone is stressed. I agree with Ms. Shatrupa, but the fact of the matter is that out of stress, if everyone is committing, 20 people have committed suicide and they are blaming the stress which is emanating from the BLO work. They are forced to work against time. So it's not that we completely discount that, saying that that the suicide has happened just because we all are stressed and they couldn't.
Okay, Shatrupa, you wanted to come in?
Yeah, I just wanted to say two things. One is Rohan was talking about the online application. I was not talking about the online application. I'm sure that is something that if I want to update my SIR form, enumeration form online, there are some people at the very beginning, they face some problems, the site crashed. I think the Election Commission has handled that. Now, yesterday I got a call, I'm just sharing a personal experience. Yesterday I got a call from someone who's saying that the same thing what Rohan was saying, that his name was not there, but the physical form is there. So he got in touch with the BLO. I told him I will get you the BLO's number and you get in touch with him. The BLO has sorted out the matter. Sometimes the website is not probably supporting the actual data. I just wanted to clarify that. Number two is everybody is talking about some more than 2 years, 3 years. No, if you look at your record, Karthikeyan, every single SIR for the last 13 times, this is the 14th time, every time it has been 2 months straight, because most of the data is already mapped. So I don't know where this big story is coming, that it takes a very long time, this, that. No, Rohan, don't shake your head. Get your Wi-Fi correct, updated first of all, and then please check your data every single time. It has taken 2 months.
Okay.
And then another additional month to check. If your name is not there, then you get a fresh form or fill it up. There's really no hassle.
Let me
and
give you
again,
the
yes,
answer.
I agree. Rohan, just 1 second. I agree that if your number, like for example, if my number is out in public, people do call at random times. But then that is a call that you have to take. Don't take a call at 2 a.m. Go to sleep.
Okay.
Let
okay,
me answer.
Yeah.
Let me answer this. Let me just put it to you. When the first day of the SIR process started in Bengal, so in first of all, the assemblies names which are right now currently were different from 2002.
Yes.
So let me finish now. So when we went to the Election Commissioner's office, so in Boshirat, which was it was named differently back then, the voter list which was there online, and there were 35 people whose names were missing. Luckily for them, they had their voter list on a supplementary voter list, and the election commissioner told us that they do not have the copies. The physical copies are not there because in 2002 the process was not there, the digital process was not there. So they had to go back to the DRO, which is the DM, and the DM has to get it attested. The DM said the CDs which the voter list was there on, they have gone missing. So again, coming back, reiterating what I was saying, this process, we are not against SIR. We think that this process cannot be done in 1 month, which the whole timeline is. We'll see on the 9th of December what the voter list stands at. You know, the fact of the matter is, Kartikeya, you're picking up on Mr. Ansari. Fair enough. That's good. Before the SIR process started.
But Mr.
I'm not. Just
my problem is he's asking people to lock them up.
Absolutely.
That's
Fair
not
enough.
done.
Absolutely.
He's a public representative. He's a minister. You can't
ask the people to
let me
tie them up
and BLOs are sarkari karamcharis. I mean, so
yes, I was just coming to that. Coming back to the point here, the BLOs are the state government employees who, during the election process, become part of the election commission, right? So they are actually the state government employees. You know, before the SIR process started in Bengal, when the SIR process started in Bihar, the BJP leaders, the leader of opposition, their MLAs, their MPs, they have been going on and about that the fact that they are going to remove 2 crore voters from the Bengal voter list.
Let me clarify.
This itself is against the constitution. When you have the party in power in the center, whose leaders are setting the tone in the political narrative as such, you're going to get the opposition to say things which might not be constitutionally right, but this is the narrative which the BJP has set. So this is the counter which the political narrative. Come back. The processes will be taken in court, and the court is listening to the complaints. If you see the whole Bihar process, there were a lot of things which the election commission didn't agree upon, but as the Supreme Court heard and more things came back into the picture. The Aadhaar card which was rejected has become an ID proof for the voters. And if you see the e-enumeration forms now in Bengal we are getting, the Aadhaar card is, you can put the Aadhaar card there. In Bihar this option was not there. So
Okay. Bhanu, first of all, the genesis of this entire thing is the EVM. You know, the first thing was EVM, then came the vote chori, and now it has gone down to SIR. Do you think that it's emanating from the fact that after a surprise recovery in 2024, inability of the Congress to win states, is this entire conversation emanating from it? They lost Haryana, which they were supposed to win. The great gains in Maharashtra, they could not cover up during the assembly elections. And the sort of close fight which people expected in Bihar, it turned out to be a complete washout. And they defeated Kejriwal in Delhi.
Oh yes, yeah, this is absolutely political. There is no question about it. And as I said, there is a signaling value. In fact, I said it in one of your previous programs that the protest against CAA, okay, which was about giving citizenships to Hindus outside India, was somehow framed as being anti-minority for people living in India, right? So all these sort of like narrative juggernauts are done, you know, another narrative twists are done to garner votes. But I think we will keep debating and the SIR process will get over. Like this is part of our noisy democracy. I just want to end with a quick math, Kartikeya. See, usually since we're talking about...
But make it legible for people, make it legible.
Absolutely. No integral calculus here, very simple mathematics, right? So, see, the thing is, usually what happens is when this BLO person comes, okay, she comes and, she distributes form to 5 households, okay, and she collects it after 1 hour. So assume that she does assume there are two people per household. She does 10 voters per hour, okay, and if you do it for a day, it's like 80 voters a day, okay. Okay, and if you do that and assume that there are only 1,000 people in a booth, she can do it in actually less than 15 days. Okay, but given the fact that India is complex, she has to go find a few houses. There are elderly people who can't do it by themselves. There is actually 2x, there is 2x time that is given to the BLO to complete the process. Okay, so what could actually be ideally completed in 15 days is now given 30 days. Even then, it is intensive because the person might not know the area and so on and so forth. But we should actually have a sense of proportion. It's not impossible. Okay, and this is exactly what the CEC, former CEC Gopal Swami also said, that it is a very, very fair process. It is done very scientifically and very meticulously, and everybody has to sort of cooperate with that. And see, given, let's forget the political parties. There is actually a great cooperation in society per se. Neighbors will come and they will go and help the person, distribute forms, so on and so forth.
Okay.
So like anything with India, it's very participatory, and usually it happens without any trouble.
Very quickly, Rohan. Very quickly.
Very quickly, keeping Banu's point. See, the point here is the whole election commission, right? The opposition, we think that this election commission, it's not legitimate. The fact of the matter is the leader of opposition is outnumbered in this panel, when the selection panel. They are completely outnumbered. You have the Prime Minister and the Cabinet Minister choosing who the Chief Election Commissioner is going to be. And this very election commission, you have one nation, one poll rhetoric which is there in this country. But we saw after 2024, when the 4 states were supposed to be polling together, the election commission said that we can't do 2 states, all the 4 together because of logistics. We have Kashmir and we have Maharashtra. So you see, the whole process is against the opposition. We've been talking about various things which the election commission has been doing. The 45 days to remove the CCTV footage.
Okay.
And even when they ask why Rahul Gandhi is not going to court, let me put it out there. Mr. Gandhi has no option to go to the court because the court has given. There's a law which gives the election commission complete blanket. There's nothing that the opposition which can do it legally in court. So we have to put our points. We are fighting our cases against the SIR process, which we think is wrong.
Okay.
But to say the election commission, this is where we stand.
Okay. I've really run short of time. Because the debate is on SIR. It's not on the election commission today.
But the SIR is being done by the
SIR, that's the executive prerogative. Brijesh, your closing comment.
Well, I think, the opposition parties will have to really up the game, because, if you say that, election commission is the only one which is engineering these kind of rigged election and is making the government win, lock, stock and barrel, I don't find too much merit in this argument. Yes, there could be flaws. They should bring it out because, the 2024 general election. If it's if I am losing the biggest election of my life, you think I'm going to lose 2024 general election just to win, couple of states election?
Absolutely.
2024 BJP came down to 240.
People forget that the BJP was talking about 350 seats.
Easily, abki baar 400 par. It came down to 240.
And they lost Ayodhya also. And they lost Ayodhya also. And they lost Ayodhya also.
If it was rigged in such a fashion. And I think, there are issues like, constitution change.
Brijesh made a very valid point. Thank you for joining me. He made a very valid point, because in 2024 elections, not only BJP lost Ayodhya, but the margin of victory of the Prime Minister came down. I think you don't get to rig that,
Absolutely.
You don't get to do those things. And my only point is, yes, the problems of the BLOs needs to be taken into account. But the fact of the matter is that the process of registration of who the voter is should be done. So this was on point 1. On point 2 is on the return of the Tukre gang in Delhi.
What is speed? Do you ever see it? Or is it something you feel?